how to approach a corner, how to brake and how to throttle, but I always like to reinforce because I always have lovely surprises. So, hands, thumbs like this, 180, there's no other way of holding the steering wheel, okay? The input speed has to match the output speed, so if I'm smooth in, I have to be smooth out. If I'm fast in, fast out doesn't work, okay? Regarding the brakes, we need to press progressive until the turning point. From the turning point to the apex, we have to be regressive. We need to do trail braking, okay, to maintain weight on the tires. If we lift the brakes like that, completely lose weight and the car goes straight, okay? Okay, so we can start to accelerate. The white line over there is where we're going to brake into. So we're going to brake into the white line and then gently release the brake as we steer into corner 1 and opens. Already you can see corner 2, bring the nose in and open again, hard on the brakes, very late on the entrance. We want to sacrifice corner 3 and stay on the right side, okay, for position. Tiny lift, so we help the nose to rotate, then full throttle as we open along the main speed, the minute straight and then the maximum speed. Until the crest, full throttle, off the throttle gently, aggressive on the brakes, first in the mid of the track, then from the mid we trail brake out, in, and then back on the throttle as we open along, all the way around. Full throttle to the left and we stay on the left, off the throttle gently, just a little tap on the brake to load the suspension and put some weight on, and opens hard on the brakes, late on the entrance, we steer in for corner 8 as we open along steering with full throttle. Smooth right until the white line, which is the turning point. Tiny lift, we don't brake, steer in, back on the throttle and opens, off the throttle, this is blind, so it's a straight braking towards the right, heavier braking towards the opposite curve as we release brakes, turn in for corner to the left. 5% off the throttle to help the nose to engage, 4% of throttle on the brakes, late entry again, towards the end of these yellow sausages, they will determine late apex all the time, so you can start to run the transmission. A bit of brake, late entry, rotation of the car fully before, so you can point to the last apex of this double apex corner. On the second white line that you see, off the throttle, only steering, nothing else. Once you go over this crest, then you force it into the curve and quick full throttle and open along the main street. Okay? The crest is very important over there because you need to do everything before that. Because otherwise, if you go on full throttle, once you go over the crest, suspension decompresses, you lose grip in the front, and then you feel understeering, your brain tells you to go off the throttle exactly when the rear axle is crossing the crest. So not a good recipe. Okay, the brakes, nothing like step, everything progressive, so you dive the car or dip the car in a progressive way. The tires get more percentage of weight on top of them in a gradual way, and by the time you feed the brake in, they get grip enough to outstand that brake pressure. Okay? By fading the brake through the corner, we are reducing speed at the time we are releasing the brake. We're keeping constant kilos on the front tires, so always predictable grip. We change, and then you adjust yourself a bit too. It's all electric, go in and out, you feel comfortable, and you can see that. Good?
Yeah, I think so. Didn't remember much of what you said, but...
I'll
Keep
say everything
shouting.
again. Don't worry. I'll help you out. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, so lever down, all the way down. That's it. You can go whenever you want. You have some laps, so you can take the first lap to more or less. You can be faster. It's in sport, so it's high revving until it changes gear again. So where about in the UK you race?
Well, we've done quite a few track days. So Cadwell,
Yeah.
that was a fun track. Castle Coombe's quite close, Folkestone, Anglesey.
Okay, so all the way left, off the throttle, on the brakes, and you fade the brake in corner 1, really tight in, back on the gas, open all the way left, looking already forward to corner 2. You see the curve, you bring the nose in straight away. Here you don't need to brake, just accelerate a bit. Here you brake and stay. Harder on the brakes, less pressure as you go through. See, that's no brake straight away.
Yeah.
The brake needs to fade out, make sure. Off, steer in, back on the throttle, open steering, full throttle. Until depressed, remember, full throttle. Off and brake. More pressure, first mid at the track, then from the mid you release the rest as you do the rotation of the car, more, and then you open wide. Full throttle to the left, and stay on the left. Off the throttle gently, light braking, less brakes and steer in, back on the gas, open all the way left, and brake and stay on the left. Less pressure as you go through, tighter, open steering, keep full throttle. Full throttle in the diagonal to the right, keep full, squeeze brake. No brakes, only off the throttle and steer. Back on the throttle and opens. Off the throttle in a straight line, very light braking towards the right, heavier braking towards the 4th marker here of the curve, and then you steer tighter, full throttle. Mid of the track maximum to the right. Well done. In, corner 12, full throttle and opens. Off the throttle and brake. Late entry towards the end of the sausage, that's it. The other guy ahead was laughing a lot when I said the end of the sausage. All the way left, off the throttle, with the brake, off the brake, rotation of the car, back on the throttle, tighter with the steering, more throttle, full throttle and off. You just off the throttle, no brakes whatsoever, you hold it tight, steering in, keep it stable, back on the throttle, force steering in, more throttle, more steering, full throttle and open steering. Until the traffic light, full throttle all the time, then you're going to go off the throttle but no brakes, that's all the way to go. Out and brake. No pressure, until the white line, now fade the brake pressure out as you go through, perfect. Back on the throttle and open. In, don't need brake. That's it, throttle and open, and brake. Stronger on the brakes, less strong as you steer through, tighter, in, all the way, back on the throttle. Tiny lift to help the nose to rotate, in more, and open, full acceleration. Off and brake. Fade the brake as you go through, tighter, full throttle and open. Well done.
Tricky corner, that one.
Yeah. In more. Don't need to brake much off the throttle. Very light braking. Fade the brake out, then switch some weight on, and brake and stay. Less brakes. The end of the sausage. Tight. Open steering. And full throttle. You have time to do this diagonal. It doesn't need to be immediately. In and opens. Off the throttle, no brakes. Very light braking. That's too much braking. Lighter first, into heavy braking, and then trail brake out. In and opens. And brake. Less brakes. Open all the way right. You have time to go left. Brake. Rotation. Full throttle. Full. See for how long we're coming on full throttle? Lock that there. Off. Only steering. Stable. Tighter. Full throttle. Harder now. Fade the brake out gently. That's perfect. Back on the throttle. Full throttle. In. Throttle. Throttle. More. Open. And brake. Stay. Now steer in. Tighter. More throttle. Lift. Steer. Full throttle and open. Use the full throttle. Off and brake. Less pressure. Steer in. Tighter now. And open steering as you fix the throttle. The skill is you want throttle first, then you open steer. Off the throttle, very light braking, less brake already, steer in. And brake steer. Now steer, tighter. Already it's going like that, full throttle. Tiny lift, rotation, throttle. Remember, light brake, off the throttle, no brakes yet. Light braking, heavier braking, and release the brakes gently. That's it. If we brake too much and arrive to the turning point with all the brakes done, then we don't need to do more brake turning, but we have very little weight on the front tires, right? So the corner speed will be 10 kilometers an hour less than what you are doing now. We were passing 59 and now we were passing 73 because you had the weight of the brakes. Brake a bit, less brakes, rotation. It's too far in. Now you cannot go on the throttle. Off. That's it. Stable.
That's that. That's one.
This one we finish on the good way. Harder. Less hard as you see it through. And full throttle. Nose in. Full throttle and open. Brake. Late entry. Brilliant. Fantastic. 5% off throttle to do the rotation into the curve. Full throttle and open. That's absolutely perfect. Off, light braking into heavy braking, first to the mid of the track, then from the mid, you trail brake out. Remember to unwind steering first, then you feed full throttle. You didn't hear the steering. In, light braking, not so much. Less. In, back on the throttle. Braking stay. And stay. Tighter. Steering first, full throttle up. Tiny lift, steering tighter, open throttle, off throttle, no brakes, brake light, heavy braking, less brakes as you steer in, that's 80 now, huh? Go now. Full throttle. In, throttle and open. Off, light braking first, heavier braking, then less brake as you steer in. Full throttle, gentle left, stay on the left, do the rotation of the car first, brake more, and rotate the car in, back on the throttle, to full throttle. You can work with me. Off, a bit of brake, off the brake, and you let the car slow down to 50. Very, very good.
That's fantastic.
Track is crazy, huh?
Oh.